Yo, what's going on, guys? Mr. Bird here. Today we're back with this Hogger deck that got me to number 8 in the world. Um, I pre-recorded the gameplays on my phone, so the screen is going to be a little bit smaller than usual. But in the future, I'll remember to record the gameplays on my iPad. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. This is a really popular deck that's playing by a lot of the top Hogger players currently. I did the Ham Hog talent for this run, but in the future I'm willing to try out the Spoil Meat because I think poison's a bit underrated in the current meta and it's really good against armor units. This deck, while it's got a lot of benefits such as spells, quickness, and speed, it's not too good against armor units because I don't have any elemental damage units outside of the spells and my safe palette. So having the poison on the Hogger could give me a better matchup in some cases. The Prowler is there to deal with your spear trolls, huntresses, and the dark iron miners. And yeah, it'll get to the tower with the stealth talent so that your opponent have to respond to it, even if it's the dragon tower. I've got the save palette with the speed talent. I think this is almost an essential talent in the current map because everyone runs spells and they most likely won't let you get off that ambush shot with the cloaking talent. The burn actually takes out spear trolls at the same level in a Cairne deck, I should say. Gryphon Rider will be the mighty throw for the rest of the duration of the Dragon Tower. The polymorph is something new. I think last season I ran the Murlocs, but there's no chests on this map, so I've got polymorph. The dual spell combination is really common on this map because of the bottleneck on the bridge. Polymorph plus Blizzard or polymorph plus Safe Palette cleans up a lot of your big opponent pushes. Hogger can actually deal a lot of damage as well. It's got a 180 attack range, so polymorph provides a good support for the Hogger. Last but not least, we've got the Dark Iron Miner. I mean, this slot, if you want to put the quilboar, that's absolutely fine. In this case, I've put the Dark Iron Miner so that if my opponent's busy dealing with my Hogger on defense, the late game Hogger usually requires them to overcommit or spend more than 4 gold to defend successfully. While my units are on a rampage, I'm hoping to get my Dark Iron Miner down the middle to get the gold. I've also got a Prowler here, which is good protection against opposition quilboars, so that's why I can be a bit more aggressive with getting the gold. So this is the first game. I used this footage for the last video on Arathi Basin, but I think I'll try to go into a bit more detail in terms of the gameplay here. Yeah, so opening play, most people just start with Dark Iron Miner, but it's actually a really bad play, and unless you have a planning action to protect them, so Prowler is one example. Otherwise, yeah, don't just do a Dark Iron Miner because everyone's going to have quilboar. Anyway, he goes in with his big Core Hound Tirion push, so I think I'll just stop there. Essentially, what the mindset is that you don't want to push into their troops directly, so you want to avoid their troops. I started with a Gryphon at the very back corner, so it's flying straight up there. I didn't know what supporting units he had at the time. He could have had, huntress or something, so I definitely don't want to put Gryphon or even my Hogger into it. Whatever I put into the Tirion and the Corehound, it will just die and just give him free gold. So I want to avoid him at all costs. So Gryphon's going past. Because of the Dragon Tower, Gryphon will get some value. He got shot down by the save palette, but that's fine. I'm putting my Hogger into the different lane as well to try to avoid it. My ultimate goal is just to make sure that I can funnel everything, or that he funnels everything onto that pocket area, and this is where I make the most out of my spells. So just go with Polymorph because that removes armor resistance, and then you go with Blizzard to get the maximum area of effect. So pretty simple there. Took the most save pilot value. I do run the coming in hot just because, I think it's necessary to have the speed on this map, and the way everyone's playing spell dominated, no one's going to let you get off that ambush shot if you're running the cloaking talent. So you might as well get some burn. Corehounds is super annoying because you can kill one, but the other one is untouchable because it's going through his own towers, and it just keeps on resurrecting this one. Thank God they only come back at a third or maybe 40% health. I can't tell. If it came back with like 50 or more percent, it's unstoppable. He's funneling through the middle to get gold control, which is fair enough. But I probably, if I was playing a split lane push, I would have tried to go for the side tower. There's just no way. I mean, I'm surprised he still went with this, because after seeing Polymorph and Blizzard, he should know there's no way his units can break through. Fortunately, Corehounds doesn't do too much damage, so I could actually... my tower, I don't even think my tower's taking any hits, but even if they get on the tower, which I'm sure they do at some point, it's not doing a lot of damage. Before I know it, he's got the next Corehound and Tirion coming already. Looks pretty scary. I know I felt that in the middle of the game. But I think thankfully he had Holy Nova and not Blizzard. Otherwise, once my Gryphon dies, I actually can't stop his Tirion and Corehounds. Fortunately the Gryphon with the range extension actually deals with the wall pegs quite well, despite their levels. I think I one-shot even the level 10 wall pegs. I think that's his third Corehound push, so even in regulation, if you fail one Corehound push, you might need to reevaluate. If you continue doing that before you know it, the game's going to be over. So... I mean, I was just holding on for my dear life at this point, essentially just following the same defensive strategy, save pilot, polymorph, and just Blizzard the pocket. No matter what gold control I had no gold control. As you can see, he's just mining the middle non-stop, and even then, this map is quite generous because there's no chest controls. So, I think that's my very first Dark Iron Miner. I had to save pilot as Gryphon because there's no way for me to deal with it unless, I wait for it to get on my tower. So I might as well just take a -1 trade on the Gryphon early on. This is where in the last minute, this is where I start cycling Blizzard. And just with that, we're just slightly ahead, and... I think the game comes down to, just a tiny bit of health, and a couple of Blizzard is all the difference that it makes. Here we have our second match against Cairne. So immediately, you know that he likely would have Tauren or Spear Troll. A lot of the times they run both. I've played him before, so I know that's what he's running. I just didn't know what spell he had this time. Starting hand I didn't have Hogger, so I went in with my cheap cycle cards. Got a Gryphon down because I wanted to kill his miner. And if I don't have Hogger or Prowler in cycle, I like to just put the Gryphon down, so at least it could still deal with the Dark Iron Miner if he had one. I had to use Hogger to block his Tauren. He went pretty aggressive there with his quilboar, but I'm okay with that. I would have probably chose to deny my miner, but instead my miner at the top got 2 gold. We're back to Gryphon, so that's really good. I figured he didn't have any good counters to my Gryphon, so he had to save pallet me every time, so that's a good trade for us. I don't know if it's worth Blizzarding and Polymorph. But yeah, I think at the time I didn't have anything in hand to deal with the Cairne anyway. Yeah, our cycle's really quick, so I'm just getting Gryphon down. So at this point, he played Chain Lightning. Normally, because at even levels, Chain Lightning shouldn't kill my Gryphon. So I don't know if he's doing it because he's probably doing it because he sees my Gryphon's level 8. That's one of the reasons why I tend to not run Gryphon in a lot of other decks, just because when it's under leveled, it's really critical. So yeah, his Chain Lightning is able to kill me, otherwise he wouldn't have. Yeah, went in with my Dark Iron Miner because I think he used his quilboar there along with the Torrent. Kind of misplaced my Hogger there, so the Torrent got a double dash on the tower. The dash range is so small, it's kind of, it's really hard to get the optimal placement sometimes. But yeah, good thing our units cleaned them up good. Here I went with the aggressive polymorph. I think it was a Cairne, yeah. I don't expect to kill him with the wolf, but I know I've got supporting units coming in, and Hogger's got the range AoE, so I'm just hoping I get a few hits on the tower by a Hogger because we're behind in damage. And I think I was trying to divide his attention a little bit, so I actually sent him my Dark Iron Miner to his mine. He did commit with his 3 gold spear troll, so that's kind of good. I mean, I don't think I got any gold, but it doesn't matter. I wasn't expecting to get. Took any blizzard value. I don't know if it was aggressive, but I know I had Prowler to deal with the spear troll on the other end, so I can be a bit aggressive with the blizzard. Also didn't really have a choice because I'm behind in damage, so I kind of need to make up for it. Yeah, he does need to save pallet me every single time, although I thought he might have just Chain Lightning me. But anyway, our defense is always going to be the same. It's going to be Polymorph and Hogger if he stacks his troops. Again, the Torrent kind of dashes, but it is what it is. Yeah, Hogger is not exactly good at dealing with Torrent. He uses quilboar on offense. He's been doing that consistently, so I get a free dark miner in the middle every single time. And yeah, I kind of save piloted out of a bit of rush, I would say, because I thought I was ahead in gold. In hindsight, my save pilot is only level 8. At even levels with the burn talent, it actually kills the spear troll before they can start healing back. But he's 1 level higher, and as you can see, the spear troll actually heals back. So that's not an optimal play. This is a really critical moment in the battle, actually, because I thought about using the blizzard to get some damage on the tower while killing his Gryphon. That would have been a -2 trade, which is actually really bad because I would have taken so much more damage on defense. So yeah, thankfully I decided against that and tried to focus on defense. Yeah, again he goes quite aggressive with his quilboar, and the good thing is we've got polymorph, so we can deal with his tanky units. At its worst, we just take a few quilboar hits, which is not gonna cost us the game. Yeah, I think I probably would just go in with Dark Miner again because he used quilboar on offense. He's been doing that every single time. This time I decided to put my Hogger early on outside the base so that his Torrent can't do a second dash on my tower. It's overtime, so I can be more aggressive. I kind of have to get the damage back. Again, I'm gonna polymorph and blizzard. At this point, I'm just spamming, rushing him with units to try to. I don't have a lot of time to spare, so I'm just going into that same lane, trying to cycle back to blizzard. That's realistically the only time I'm gonna get my damage. Prowler's the best counter to Spear Troll. It's really common in Cairne decks and also in the current meta in general with Dragon Tower. I think I get 1 more Blizzard on him, and that was a close win. The final game is against a Rend. This person had I think the Chimera as well. I forget which talent they were running on Chimera, we'll see. But yeah, Rend generally is a more difficult matchup because I don't have Huntress on this deck. Sometimes I run the Huntress if I want a better matchup against Rend or Baron, but in this case I've got the Gryphon. So yeah, that was a pretty good Blizzard value. I do have to use Blizzard against his air units because I don't have any good air counters. He went in with the Dark well. Yeah, he unfortunately has his quilboar, so he got the better end of that bargain. Ren kind of does the annoying torrent dash as well, so yeah, it's a bit difficult to get the timing right every single time. Sometimes they just dash for no reason. Yeah, so he's always got a pretty big push coming. At this point, I went with the polymorph, but I probably should have gone with the blizzard, to be honest. The Chimera died pretty quick, but the rest of the stuff wasn't in range, so I'm forced to play the safe pilot anyway. And yeah, it's probably not the optimal play. So at this point I know he's got quilboar, Dark Iron Miner, and Arcane Blast, I think. So he doesn't have safe pilot, which is probably the only good thing, because he has to arcane my Gryphon every time. This time I did a better job with the Dark Iron Miner, so I got all the timing right, got both gold, and yeah, popped his world pegs as well. Yeah, so as you can see, he arcane blasted me. So this time I try to put my troops a bit further away or use my wolf to stun the Rend as soon as possible, so he doesn't end up dashing. Yeah, but after that, oh yeah, so here I went a bit aggressive with polymorph. I mean, I wasn't sure if it was the right play, but it worked out to be okay. Killed his Dark Iron Miner at the very least. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep ours alive. But yeah, I think we do have a faster cycle. I probably should have just went with, well, I went with Blizzard to get some damage, because I noticed I was behind on damage. But I probably should have just cycled my 2 miners quicker. Yeah, so that actually gave him a chance to catch up with his Dark Iron Miner again, even though I had the quicker cycle. So every time he's going to do his dual miner and quilboar. So I'm forced to call polymorph again because I want to save the blizzard for his tower. But yeah, I mean, it's debatable whether that's the best play. I'm trying to cycle back to my Gryphon, I think. Yeah, because I had no other way of dealing with his well, I didn't want to use my Hogger against his grounded Rend because it's got armor. I'm thinking of maybe doing the poison talent on the Hogger, get a better match up against armor units, because this deck is not too good against armor units, but armor units aren't very common in Dragon Tower. They will be a bit more common once the tower change happens. Had to use my Blizzard just now on defense because there's just a lot of things coming at us, and I can't really take any additional damage even though I want to use Blizzard on offense. Got a polymorph in to sneak our Hogger across, and unfortunately he had a quilboar. So I ended up using the Blizzard anyway. Prowler's good because it's got stealth and that sneaks past. I know he used both of his ground units just now, so the Prowler you can't see on the screen, but I'm pretty sure it got some damage, as you can see now. Messed up my Gryphon right there because, yeah, he was kind of cycling Arcane, and that's just my default Gryphon spot. But yeah, I don't know if I would have made any difference, because if he's running Amplification talent on the Arcane Blast, I think it hits quite big range and probably would have killed my Gryphon anyway. The Rend dashed for the, I don't know, 3rd or 4th time in this game, so I could have really done a better job with stopping that dash. Kind of went in aggressive with my miner and safe pilot, and luckily we got a hit on the tower with our safe pilot. Hope you guys enjoyed that, and thank you for watching. I'll be back with the next one soon. Bye!